Hello, students, and welcome to our first class in historical geology. If you are brand new to historical geology, I want to welcome you. And I think we're going to have a great semester together. My name is Miss Tara Lepori. Lepori rhymes with story, so you'll always remember how to say my name because it rhymes with story. Um, and we're going to have a really amazing story to tell throughout this semester. It's going to be the story of geologic time. In order to tell that story, we're going to have to start with the basics of why study historical geology. Why is this an important topic to want to learn? And then from there, we're going to go into some of the basics of what you need to know in order to study historical geology accurately. We'll have to go through some various things you'll need to know about different types of rocks, and a big portion of the course will be on deep time. Now, I use that phrase a lot in this course, deep time, having to do with the entirety of Earth's geologic history. So, what I'd like you to do this week, just to get to know one another and to get to know the course, is I've provided a sort of week one assignment document. And if you take a look on eLecta and you look at where it says week one, February 3rd through February 9th, what is historical geology? You'll see that what we'll do, mostly we'll have time for this on February 10th, our next class, but we'll have time to introduce one another, to really get to know one another as learners and as students of geology. But we'll talk about why take historical geology? Why are you signed up for it? And I'd love to see some answers to that in our weekly discussion. So I will try to have a discussion each week for you so we can get to know one another and really discuss things outside of class. So I'd love to know, what's your preferred name? That's important to me. Where are you from? What's the coolest thing you want to learn in geology? How much do you want to know, or how much do you know, rather, about the geology where you live? So explain that a little bit. And do you have a favorite fossil? If so, what is it? And yes, I will be providing answers to those questions myself. I also wanted to make sure that you had a link to the week one goals and assignments. So if you go to eLecta, you'll see a link to a Google document called the week one goals and assignments. And I'd like you to, beyond doing your discussion topic and response, I'd like you to actually go outside if you can. I know for some of us around the world or in the US, it might be very cold. So you don't have to spend a lot of time outside. But go outside if you can, find a rock and pick it up if you can. Okay, be careful. Don't pick up a boulder. But even better, if you can find a rock in place or in its own natural setting, kind of stuck into where it formed, that's excellent. Take pictures, describe it. I love the idea of keeping a journal. I have no strict requirements for how you keep a journal, but a journal or field book might be really good for you to just take sketches and kind of free form, write down what you're looking at. Again, no real 100% way of doing it, but whatever way works for you. And I want you to explore the rocks in your own area where you live. Okay, so I've given you the instructions to do that, to describe the rock. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Are there any particular shapes, colors, or anything that you think could help you describe it? And I'd like you to actually go ahead and describe that rock. See if you can come to an ID or an exact answer, but don't worry if you're not sure what the kind of rock is. I'd love for us to start with getting familiar with what's around us in our own neighborhoods, okay? And then as we start to do that, that will really whet our appetite for what's to come in our discussion of historical geology. Now, I've provided some links for you, and we technically don't have a course textbook, but that being said, I provided a few links for you, and there's one link to a really good textbook that you can kind of roll through and read through at your own leisure. There's a lot of information in there, so don't feel like you have to read it all. And I will, throughout the semester, give little pointers as to, you might want to read page blah through blah, or so on and so forth, that might help you brush up on your background knowledge. Okay, so there's nothing specifically to hand in this particular first week, but there is just this discussion that I'd love to hear your responses on. And when we meet up together for our first full live session on February 10th, I'm really looking forward to meeting with you all. I'm looking forward to each of you meeting each other. And I think we're really going to have a fantastic semester together. So in the meantime, if you have any questions and you just want to shoot me an email, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to get to know you all better. And I'm sorry I can't be there for this February 3rd, our first class day. I'm actually going to be out of internet range. So we'll make do. And when we return for our first live session, February 10th, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Okay. So once again, I'm Miss Lepori, Tara Lepori, and I am just so excited to have you join me on our journey through deep time. See you next week.